Let's see. And we're live. Hey there, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Alien Investigations. I'm your host, Steven, and we're coming at you with another gameplay episode of the X-Files Collectible Card Game here on Thanksgiving Day. And I've got Nathan over from Wisconsin. You know, he's taking a break from, hunting turkeys, as you can see behind him. He's caught quite a few there. And Nathan's going to be throwing down with me for this evening. Nathan, how's it going over there in Turkey Land? Oh, I guess we're frozen. Or maybe I'm frozen.
Great. And we do have, this is a real thing that happens. And I'm just gonna, sorry, my camera dropped out. I'm gonna bring that back in here.
Okay, it was your, I wasn't sure.
This is a real, no, it was me. So this is a real thing that happens in my neighborhood. The turkeys get a little brazen on Thanksgiving Day, and they're strutting around in the middle of the road. And I'm like, that's a little bit chancy, guys. I don't know if I'd be doing that.
Maybe it's just because they get depressed this time of year, and so they don't mind walking in the middle of the road. I mean, for obvious reasons, they're a bit on edge in November. I mean, sure, everyone figure out why. Yeah. Anyway, so this is going to be an interesting matchup because we're doing something a little different. This episode is called Battle of the Sample Decks. And so what this is that Ethan and I each assembled a very refined deck. I would hope refined, considering, we did it in the last few days. Actually, Nathan did his like a week ago, it seems, and I just did mine like in the last 24 hours. So I don't know how refined mine's going to be. But when I say sample decks, both of these decks that we use tonight are going to later be translated into sample deck videos that I'm going to upload on the channel in the next few days. You'll see the one for mine should either be going up tonight or tomorrow if you're watching this live. And then I'll have Nathan's sample deck up on the channel in a few days. And then that way, those of you who decide to, either you're new to the game or maybe you're feeling like trying a different deck on for a change, you need some ideas. That's what these sample deck videos are for. And there's already 6 advanced sample decks up on the channel now that you can already take a look at. And there's also, for those who are brand new to the game, there's 3 basic gameplay decks up there as well that you can try out if it's your first foray with the X-Files CCG. So take a look at them, and and of course, if you're a seasoned player, let me know what your thoughts are on them. And so that's what we're going to be doing. So Nathan and I each have a deck that we're going to be playing with tonight, and again, we'll be offering these up as sample decks for those of you who tune into the channel and are looking for some sample deck ideas. That's what they're there for, and they're there to help those new prospective players as well as some more seasoned players who are just looking to change things up from their usual decks. So that about sums it up, right, Nathan?
Yeah, I think so. And the idea is just to, I think, give people a starting point, more or less. So if you're just coming into the game, these are decks, especially today. And Steven, I think this is true for yours too. I have no ultra rares, no promo cards in my deck. This is made up entirely of common, uncommon, rare cards from the commercial sets, so it's relatively easy to put together. Inexpensive. You won't have to hunt for a lot of these cards. Most of them, even if you go on eBay, I'd be shocked if you're paying more than like $1 for some of these. So, the idea is to make it a pretty accessible deck, but also kind of showcase how the deck's supposed to function. Your sample deck videos have a breakdown. You can kind of see what percentage of the decks are sites, what percentage are conspiracy cards versus RP cards. Just kind of give you a starting point if you're new to the game, and some reference to build some pretty easy and frankly pretty good decks.
Exactly, and thanks for pointing that out too. Yes, like your deck, mine is entirely comprised of commons, uncommons, rare cards. No ultra rares or promos found in mine either. Again, we're going for accessibility with these sample decks. And so, yeah, as you said, Nathan, anyone should ideally be able to get their hands on the cards needed to craft these decks with ideally minimal expense. And I want to take this moment to plug one of the many links that are in the description of this video and every video on my channel, and that's for the X-Files CCG website by 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬, and that is what Nathan and I both used for assembling our decks tonight. It's a very handy website. It's got an agent selector feature, so you can build your team of agents and be mindful of that 20 cost that you're limited by when you're playing the advanced version of the game, as well as noting what skills your team is strong in and areas in which they're weak. And this website is very handy for spotting that. And I also make a point of noting that in the sample deck videos as well, so you can see the breakdown of the agent's skills and stuff like that. Let's see what else. Yeah, so 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬's website also has a deck building feature as well, so you can assemble your deck and you can save it and create a link to it so that you can use it at a later time. And actually, all the sample deck videos that I have on the channel, there is a link to that deck at 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬's website that you can use to easily access the deck there as well. And of course, the lists of those the cards in those decks are also available in the description video as well. So those videos are pretty accessible. And of course, I can't not mention the checklist that is available on 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬's website that you can use in place of your X-Files CCG paper checklist if you feel so inclined. Cuts down on the mistakes in the that you might make in the course of the game, scratching off one too many or not scratching off the right ones. So that feature is available on the website as well. You're still going old school on it.
Still using my paper list.
You can't go. I mean, there is something to be said about the nostalgia. Come what may. And it's a friendly game as well, so there's no stakes at all, But if you're ever playing an X-Files CCG tournament, you might be more inclined to want to utilize that digital checklist, just to cover your bases. Anyway, so I think that pretty much covers it. So Nathan, do you want to go ahead and introduce the team of agents that you chose for your sample deck?
Yeah. So this is kind of a odd grouping of agents, I guess. I was going for, I don't know, a group of agents we haven't really seen. Phoebe Green doesn't see much play. So I decided to kind of build around her and Mulder, and then I wanted to just make kind of a well-rounded team. So let me just pull this team up on 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬's website, and I can give you more exact breakdown of their skills. So the only things they're really deficient in are subterfuge, medical, and bureaucracy. Otherwise, they have at least 4 in every other skill category. So they're a very well-rounded team. The deck is primarily built around, there's a lot of observation and behavioral because of CASA. All of the agents really do have good observation skills, so their observation comes in at 6. Behavioral is also 6. There's a healthy dose of like alien investigation in here too. 4+ sites that Mulder can solo, and let's see. I think occult investigation, criminal investigation play decent parts too, just because they've got a combined 7 skill across the board on that. So they're a very well-rounded team, and I'm kind of excited to play them.
Excellent. And I think if I'm not mistaken, you have 5 sciences between them, right?
I should, yeah. I think Burke has, 3? No, he has 2. Green has 2. And what does Mulder have? 1? Yeah. So 5 total.
So 5. Excellent. Yeah, so
get you out of those unexplainable time loss scenarios.
Exactly. And or the poisonous gas scenario, or the unnatural aging scenario. There's a few scenarios with regards to sciences that you want to be to be wary of when you're going into this game. And you want to obviously make sure you're covering some of the bases with respect to those common bluffs and event cards that can get played on you. So even if your team isn't strong in necessarily like bureaucracy, for instance, you might want to have like a witness or equipment or something like that that's in your deck that you might be able to utilize when you're in such a jam. And so
one of those, if I can pause for a second,
yep.
One of those was your suggestion. It was a very good one, Stephen, to include the 2 Lux video camera in this deck, which will give the team, because Mulder has 1 subterfuge, will give the team 3 subterfuge, and then also let them do stuff from the hospital. So I think that was a good ad.
Yeah. So, and then if Sheriff Daniels should rear his ugly head, there you go. So you got your out for that. Because when you're, regardless of whatever theme you're going for, when you're crafting your decks, a lot of time, like, you're invariably going to include those staple conspiracy cards. You're not going to want to go without like car troubles or laser barrier or injured relative or Sheriff Daniels or Detective Thompson, because they're just too good to not include, and they're cheap. And they usually, I say usually, depending on the makeup of the team, they can usually get you out of those jams. So those are some really worthwhile bluffs to include in there. Same with authorized access only, unexplainable time loss, as you mentioned, computer access denied, all those that force a particular skill check on the team that might be a little too specialized for every team. You have to kind of be wary of those, and you not just have to be aware of the skills that your agents can apply to the sites, but also some of those potential pitfalls that your opponent might throw at you that force skill checks upon them. And so I feel like I've got my work cut out for me with this particular team, because what I've got here is a medical healing themed deck.
Ooh,
and
interesting.
Yeah, and so the downside to this deck is that the team isn't going to be necessarily strong in other skills like bureaucracy, subterfuge, sciences. So again, you got to have some contingencies for when you get hit with some of those forced skill checks. And without further ado, let me go and unveil my team of agents. And since this is a medical healing themed deck, I'd be remiss not to include Agent Scully. And actually, even though this is not going to be noted in the sample deck video, I am using the Gen Con version of Dana Scully for this video. Same skills, same everything.
Nice.
Card title and image are a little different. And joining Dana Scully is Agent Karen Kosov, along with Agent Janice, who you want to have on your team if you're going for medical and healing, because he's got 3 medical and he's got a really cool ability that he can heal agents in the field should they get damaged, and that can prevent an agent from being sent to the hospital if their health is reduced to 0. So Janice is a pretty handy agent to have. His skills aren't very diverse, but he makes up for with the game effects, and he can also pay for medical and healing cards as well. And so you can expect there's going to be a lot of medical sites, and so Janice will be able to chip in his resource point to help pay for some of those cards. And Kosov also has the ability to pay for observation and behavioral cards as well, so you might see some sites and other cards that have the ability to pay for certain cards. I like including I like including agents that have the ability to pay for stuff, because that when your pool gets a little bit low on resources, it's good to have those agents on hand. Thirdly, we have Albert Hosteen, who is bringing a couple medical to this as well. And he's got some subterfuge, which comes in handy for certain force skill checks. And of course, he's got a game effect that you can't deny is pretty awesome. And we also have Detective Manners, who doesn't have any medical skill. He's the only agent on the team without medical skill, but he's got a couple of observation that he will probably be chipping in here or there. And he's got the ability to summon witnesses when I should need them. And that is my contingency right there. Should I be forced into a situation where my team doesn't have enough skills, either to make the site prerequisite or a skill check that's forced on me by one of Nathan's cards, I've got manners to help me get out of that jam. So we got a medical healing themed deck going right here, Nathan. I hopefully I'll have this video up tomorrow or later tonight so that you guys can see the complete deck. And of course, there'll be links in those videos so you guys can get your hands on these decks too if you should find them appealing. So hopefully Nathan's camera is here to stay. It's a pretty awesome playmat, by the way, too.
It's being finicky. And it might have actually just frozen up again. Great.
I'm going to go ahead and
but to build on the point you made about resource points, that's a good thing to highlight with this deck. You were asking for some tips for this deck before. That's a good one. This team is a little bit light on RP because of Mulder being an inclusion. So the deck does have a lot of sort of RP generating things, starting with Kasef, but then extending also to some of the first edition witnesses. So Nolette, Kevin Morris, much to David Peace's chagrin, I'm sure. So those witnesses help you out. There's some hard evidence in here. I don't think I put friend in the FBI, but you know, between Kasef's token renews every turn, you've got Mulder's ability to pay for some sites. So there's a lot of like shortcuts you can use to pay for stuff.
Definitely. And I can attest to including some of the members, or I have at least one member of the Kevin Morris Mafia in my deck, not to say anything about manners, because he too is an honorary member given his ability to summon witnesses. And so as Nathan's getting his camera set up once more, I'm just going to, for those of you who might be relatively new to the game, the object is the first to identify your opponent's hidden X-File is the winner. And I've got my hidden X-File right here. And I believe, Nathan, you've got yours somewhere on the playmat, that awesome playmat right there. It's buried in tokens for some weird reason. So we're not playing X-File powers here. No, I'm kidding.
Those are just my conspiracy.
Pretty cool.
Points.
Should we do X-File powers? No, it's you actually want to build your deck around the X-File you chose, so we wouldn't be ready for that. But we should do a powers game sometime. Someone was talking about it on Discord fairly just today, actually. Was it or yesterday?
I've never done
recently.
One, so.
Let's say. Then let's make it happen next time you're available to throw down. So we're going to decide which of us is going to go first. So Nathan, I got 2 tokens in my hand. If you pull the one with the red X, you're going to decide whether you want to start off as the investigating player or the conspiracy player. First thing, though, before we do that, we need to draw our 7, and then you can decide if which you're feeling. Should you get the option to choose? All right. So we're going to draw our 7, and we're going to get this. We can get this underway. Okay, so got my 7. Cool. All right. And I just dropped one of my tokens. Okay. All right. So pull the one with red X. You can decide which to go first. If you pull this one with the blue, then I'll be deciding. And which is it going to be, sir? Right or left?
It's going to be, if you're facing me, your left hand.
My left
from
hand?
Your perspective, your left hand, yes.
Yes, and that's the blue one. So that means I'm going to be deciding my fate or our fate, at least as far as the first round goes. And let me just look at my cards once more to decide which would be more appealing. Yeah, I'm gonna go first as the investigating player. You'll be the conspiracy player for this first round, and then we'll pass it back and forth. And I will draw my free card to kick off the first round. So we're now in the briefing phase of this first round. And taking a quick look at my cards, absorbing what all they can do. And because this is a brand new deck after all, so I only made it just earlier today, so I'm still absorbing some of these cards. Most of them I'm familiar with. I've used them before, but occasionally throw some new ones in there to shake things up. And of course, when you're going with a theme deck, a lot of times you're going to be including some cards that you don't necessarily include on the regular. Anyway, assessing my team's resource points, Scully's going to generate 2. Karen Kosov's going to generate 1. Janice is going to generate 1. Albert Hosting is going to generate 1. And Manners is just there looking pretty for now. But he'll make up for it later, I promise. So we're going to add 5 to my resource pool, which will take it up to 10. And I'm pretty happy with the cards. I'm pretty... You know what? I'll just buy one. I'll buy one more card. And that'll leave 9 in the pool and an extra 1 in my hand. Sell away, Nathan.
All right. I'm actually going to refresh my camera here again because I don't think you can see anything. But I'm going to sell a Sheriff Teller for 3, which is going to put me at 8, and I am not going to buy any cards.
Okay, so you're sticking at 8 conspiracy points then. Before we exit the briefing phase, I think this is my whenever I'm doing my first round as the investigating player and I've got Manners on my team, I kind of want to lay out the mat a little bit with what I need, and I'm going to use one of Manners. Wait, no, hold on a sec. No, because I think I just saw I had a... Yeah, you know what? Never mind. I'm not going to use Manners. I normally use Manners to summon a resource generating witness, but I actually have a street contacts in my hand already. So nice. I might as well just use it. Yeah, so I'll just use that instead of actually using them. Save myself a Manners token for later. So I'm going to pay 1 to search through my bureau deck, and I'm going to place any one witness card in my hand. I'll show that to you in a moment, Nathan, and I'll shuffle up my deck. And so, yeah, my normal method when starting out is get that resource generating witness out as early as possible. If they don't show up in my hand in the first 7 or 8 cards, then I want to go in and get them. And therein lies the beauty of Detective Manners, because he can just go in and get that witness when I need him. And Nathan, for this medical themed deck, I have pulled out Dr. Osborne, and he is going to add 1 to my pool every time a keyword medical or government card is played. And so he costs 3, and I'm going to use Janice's resource point to pay for part of him because he does have the keyword medical. So I'm only going to deduct 2 from my resource pool to pay for Dr. Osborne. And he's going to go in the bureau section because he's a resource witness, and the street contacts is going to go to the trash bin. And that's that. So now we'll head out. What's that? Oh, your camera?
No, I just said that'll work.
That'll work. Okay. And with that, we'll head out.
I was responding to your turn. That's all great.
Yep. Good stuff. Good stuff. So let's head out of the briefing phase, and we'll head into the healing phase just as a fleeting moment, because none of my agents are in the hospital section, so no healing's required. For requisition phase, I did pull a couple of equipment cards, and so both of them have a bureau activator, so this would be the time to do it. Because pretty much all the premier cards and almost all of the 1013 equipment cards have a bureau activator, so they are... if you want to requisition to them, you got to do it while they're in the bureau section. So I think I'll requisition the gas chromatograph for 2. That'll take my resource pool down to 4. And that is going to add 1 to the agent's sciences skill. And let's see, who is in need of science as well? They all do, except for Scully. But if I'm going to divide them up, to do multiple sites, I might want to just keep it with Scully. So I'm going to requisition the gas chromatograph to Scully, and that's going to take her collective sciences up to 4. So that's good because I only had 3 sciences here. So now I am in a better place with regards to some of those forced sciences skill checks. And now for deployment, we'll send everyone out to the field. So everyone is leaving the bureau section and heading out to the yard. All right. And let's see here. What do I want to do? Anything? Probably before I put down my sites. Let's go ahead and waste Hostein's token right now, Nathan. Let's see what you got.
A Langley, a hard evidence, a site, sharing 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬, and eliminating the source and the Sandman are my two. Oh man, my camera is not showing any of this, is it?
Yeah, I was gonna say your cards are just they're invisible. All right,
I'm gonna try bringing this up on a new Chrome
sounds good. Maybe empty the cache
browser and see if that'll work. So my two. Yeah, I tried that. I just did that.
Oh, you did, and it still doesn't work.
I got nothing out of it.
Yeah. Do you have a different browser other than Google Chrome?
I was using Microsoft.
No, I meant do you have like Firefox or Edge or something on here as well?
Yeah, I was using the other browser.
Oh, sorry, got you. Okay, yeah, I haven't used Chrome. I mean, I'm actually using Edge. Yeah, I mean, I haven't had any issues yet, but the night is young. So let's see. You had two conspiracy cards you mentioned. There was eliminating the source and the Sandman, which, if I'm not mistaken, has a result activator. And that would be, well, shoot. I thought that was going to be an easy choice here.
So yeah, eliminating the source and Sandman are my two conspiracy cards.
Okay, and dang it, result activator. So that's going to give me some pause here. But I think, though, I do have manners to help me out with one of those. I think we'll cast Hostein's token on the eliminating the source.
Okay, sounds good.
And now let's play some sites. First one is New York City, New York, the Big Apple. We have medical and behavioral as our prerequisites. Also, affiliation and result, which qualifies the Sandman to throw down. And actually, it's from the same episode, Sleepless, so that would be all too fitting. And I'm going to use Karen Kosif's resource point to pay for New York because it has the keyword behavioral. And I'm also going to generate one because it has the keyword behavior, or because it has the keyword medical. I'm going to generate one resource point courtesy of Dr. Osborne. And I'm also going to play Chinatown, San Francisco, California. That's a mono site. Medical is the prerequisite. And a result question. So again, the Sandman qualifies there too. So with regards to paying for it, I've already used both my agents' resource points, so I'm going to have to pay for that out of the pool, leaving me with 3. However, because it does have the keyword medical, I'm going to generate one more courtesy of Dr. Osborne. And so now, Nathan, I turn it to you for bluffs.
Well, I'm not putting bluffs down, so.
You got no bluffs at all. So, but you do
Can
have.
You remind me what those sites are again?
Yeah.
What their subjects
are. So medical 5 or behavioral 5 is for New York, and Chinatown, San Francisco is medical 4. Both have the result activator, so the Sandman can head to either of them. So let's see here.
Well, I'll just let you. You know what? I'll just let you have your question. I'm going to play eliminating the source.
Oh, okay. All right. So we're going to hit me with that. So I can only investigate. Yeah. So I can
criminal investigation or evidence collection.
Yeah. Okay.
And you get a free question off of it.
Yeah, so since I haven't sent the agents to the sites yet, I guess they're going to, and they don't have bluffs on them, so I guess they're just going to get discarded at the. Yeah, so they'll just get discarded then. Right. Well, yeah, I guess I'll just ask. Let's see. Result question. Well, I guess any question really. So
any question, yeah.
Any question. Any question? The world is my oyster as far as this question goes. Well, why don't we just rule out one of the actually no, I'm going to go for a motive question actually, knowing my deck doesn't have a lot of motive sites, so that might be a good one to weed out. By any chance, Nathan, is your X-Files motive control?
Let's take a look. The motive is control.
All right, that's good.
So
like I said,
this game is so stupid.
Oh my gosh, how about that? And I swear I only have 2 motive sites in here. It was so weird because I'm going like there's not a single medical site with a motive question. I'm like, dang, that sucks. So I threw in a couple that I was like, okay, cost can pay for those. Like, but that's so weird, and that's why our fan made cards are going to help fill some of those gaps that are coming up with some of the premier cards because there's certain limitations. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Well, I mean, here's my thinking. You were going to get a question on this anyway, right? Because
it wouldn't
you
have
were
been
going to be able to take it. Oh, but that doesn't matter. I mean,
I know
you could have guessed whatever the other thing was. But so I figured, okay, I can stop you potentially for 2 turns here. I'll take the question hit since you're going to get one anyway, and whatever. But it was costly, clearly. So that's fine.
Indeed. Yeah, and who knows like what the other timeline would have been if I just sent them and got a result question. I might have said I probably would have gone death just because of the numbers game on that. But holy cow, got you down to 9. And since I didn't investigate a site or anything like that, I can't even take a crack at identifying your X-file at this point. So yeah,
we are going to get a counter off eliminating the source.
We're going to get that, yeah. And so that is still in play for another turn.
I have 5 cards.
Good deal. And so do I. So why don't we pass it to you?
All right. So draw my freebie. Man, is this camera again? This is ridiculous.
Delayed, but
there it is. Caught up. Yeah, it's got a nice big delay on it, but whatever. All right, so I've drawn my freebie. I'm going to generate res, so it is only a 3 res team plus Mulder's 2 card draws. And do I want to draw more than that? You've already seen what's in my hand, so I think diluting that and getting some new stuff in it is probably a good thing.
Very wise.
So I'm going to draw 2 in addition to Mulder's 2 for a total of 4, and then pass to you.
All right. I'm going to just sell 2 cards, the Tulux video camera for 5 and the 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 for 2. And that's a total of 7. And that's going to take it up to 12. And nice. Let's get uh 4 cards, leaving me with 8. Back to you.
All right, I have no requisition, no healing. Deployment will get all our agents up in the field on active duty. I will use Kosov's token to play 1 site this turn. It's going to be, you've seen it, the Washington Monument.
Yeah.
Which is a behavioral 5, observation 5, motive or result question.
Oh,
just out
of curiosity, even though it's too late, but just out of curiosity, did eliminating the source have a government keyword on it? It's just asking for the sake of
it does not.
Okay, good, because I was like, oh, that seems like a card that would have had that on there. But let's carry on. So affiliation, result, observation, and behavioral. And we're going to put We're going to put 1 bluff or 2 bluffs. Your team is pretty good on... does Phoebe Green have behavioral as well? Or is she just observation?
She does not. She's an observation agent.
Okay. Thinking. Okay. Yeah, 1 bluff.
One bluff. Okay. I'm going to send everybody. We will make this a behavioral check. And so I've currently got 3, 4, 5, 6 from Mulder and Kosif.
3 from Mulder, 3 from Kosif. And the bluff that I put on that site is the sinus cavity implant, the dreaded sinus cavity, which is even more formidable considering it's going to cost me 0 to play because it was face down. And unless you got a Langley to negate that, we're going to shove that sinus cavity up Burke's nose.
Okay, that's fine.
All right. So
I'll put
he's
a little
going
conspiracy.
Yeah, he's going to be he's going to be picking his nose throughout this game. He's like trying to get at it. And let's see. So obviously did nothing to stop your investigation, but you did say this was a result site, yes? Affiliation result, that is.
Yep, we've got a motive or result.
All right, and so I'm going to pay 6 to play Darkness Falls, Primordial Adversary, and that is a primordial creature specifically, and that does have a result site activator. It doesn't initiate combat, so unless a healing card is played immediately and the card results in 1 point being healed, move the agent to the hospital. The agent must stay in the hospital for the next turn.
All right, who do you want to take?
We'll go ahead and send we'll send Kosif to the hospital, and she's got behavioral 3 on her, so that's going to cut down heavily on your team's ability to apply behavioral to that site. So
Yep, that's right.
Karen Kosif's going to have bug nightmares for the rest of her life after that.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a fail. 5+, so yep, I don't have that.
Awesome. Good old Darkness Falls.
However, before the end of my turn, I'm going to play a hard evidence.
Oh, nice.
Pay 2, and I'll net myself 3. Yeah, that's why I didn't really care about sinus cavity.
Yeah, and now that you're going into the next round with with generating 2 less res than you normally would because Kosif's in the hospital, yeah, that hard evidence is going to make up for that. All right, cool. Well, that's all right. So this is already interesting one so far. We've got an adversary played. Granted, one of those non-combat initiating ones, but still, still makes for an interesting couple of rounds. I only got 5 cards left, so I don't need to discard anything. What about you? Oh, actually, before we go,
I do have to just.
We're not in debriefing yet. I have one more card I'm going to play before we head out of debriefing, or before we head into debriefing. I'm going to play Lula Phillips for 1, and I'm going to play this card after an adversary sends an agent to the hospital or removes an agent from the game. Place 5 conspiracy points in your pool. Boom. Unless you got a Frohickey for that.
No, I don't.
Sweet. I think that might be the first time I've played Lula Phillips successfully right there. Now we can head into debriefing. And now I only have 4 cards. Fancy that.
And I'm going to discard. Let's see.
By the way, if anyone is joining us live,
Actually, I'll pay
go ahead.
2. I'll pay 2. I'm just going to Langley your sinus cavity implant.
All right, there goes the sinus cavity. Fun while it lasted. And by the way, if
I need
anyone
to discard one anyway, so might as well.
Yeah, if you're gonna have to, yeah. I know you're thinking it's like, I could have saved that Langley for something more worthwhile. By the way, if anyone is joining us in the live chat,
and then I'm down to
oh.
genocide.
All right, cool. Anyone's in the live chat, feel free to drop some comments. We always appreciate audience participation. As we head into the second round, third turn of the game, I'm going to draw my free card and get us another briefing phase underway. And let's take a look at my team's resource points again. Everyone's healthy, no one's in the hospital, so we're going to generate 5 once again, which is going to take my pool up from 4 to 9. Whoops, one too many. 4 to 9. And let's return Kosov's and Janice's resource points back to them that I used in the previous round. And how many cards? How many cards do I want to buy? Let's go with 4 cards, leaving me with 5 in the bank. 4 cards.
Okay. I'm going to dump a shotgun. Give me my 6.
And I'm going to welcome, I think this is Carl, if I'm not mistaken, who's joining us live right now. He says, great game, gentlemen. Always a pleasure seeing this amazing game hit the table. Thank you so much, Carl. And thank you for tuning in on Thanksgiving Day of all days. Hope you're hope you and everyone who's watching is having a happy holiday. Sorry, go ahead, Nathan.
And let's see. I'm going to draw. What do I have? 10 in here.
Good Lord.
I'll just draw 1 card.
And how many conspiracy points are you sitting on?
9.
Oh, good Lord. Well, it's a good thing I did pull some hard evidence, because I'm going to play that now for 2. And that is going to add 5 tokens to my resource pool, which is going to take it up to 8. And we'll discard that. Let's see. And now I think it's time we head out of briefing, unless you don't have anything else you need to do, right?
No.
Okay, cool. So skip past the healing and requisition, no equipment cards to requisition. For deployment, let's just keep everyone out in the field. And for case assignment, let's see, the site we've got here is Northeast Georgetown Medical Center, Washington, D.C. It's a mono site with the keywords method and medical. We're going to use Janice to pay for half of that site because it has the keyword medical, and deduct 1 from the pool to pay for the other half. However, I'm going to generate that right back, courtesy of Dr. Osborne, because it has the keyword medical.
All right. No bluffs?
Any bluffs?
No.
All right. No bluffs. And let's see here. I guess there's no reason not to send everyone to the site, so we'll just go ahead and do that. We'll send them all there. We're all going to be applying our medical skills, those of them who have it. Scully's got 4, as you know. Karen Costa's got 1. Janice has 3. Hosting's got 2. I've got freaking 10 medical going on here, Nathan. 10.
And they will not be investigating it.
And will not be investigating that. Or will we, because I have a frohickey?
You do. Are you playing it?
I am playing it, of course.
I am going to alien experimentation.
Shoot. No. Darn it. Well, that's a expensive negate right there. So damn, son. All right. Well, that's about it. That's all I can do.
All right.
Yep.
And eliminating the source is gone in your debriefing phase.
As is my site. So yeah. Let's head out of we're debriefing now. Eliminating the source is gone, and I've got 6 cards, so keeping them all.
I also have 6.
Oh.
All right, so I will draw my free
turn.
Casa has to stay in the hospital this turn, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll generate 2 res.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'll just draw. Mulder's 2 probably. Although I like options.
Yeah, options are good.
Let's tag on another one there. So I'll draw 3. And then pass it over to you.
Sounds good. And I'm just going to sell a couple of cards. The shotgun for 6 and Gibson's in Florida for 2. That's a total of 8, and I'll take it up to 14. So, of that 14, let's say we get... don't have a lot left in my hand to work with, so let's go with 5. Leaving me with 9 to work with there.
All right.
Back to you.
No healing or requisition. Good on deployment. And during case assignment, I'm going to play 2 sites. I'm going to pay 2. Well, I could use Mulder's. I'm going to use one of Mulder's.
I was going to say, you do have Mulder.
Tokens. And 2 RP. I'm going to play Miller's Grove, Massachusetts, which is alien investigation and result. And Striker's Cove, which is evidence collection and affiliation.
Okay. Okie doke. See, it's about time we put some bluffs down. And this one is going on Striker's Cove. And it's cost me that. Do I want to put anything down on the other one? We'll leave the other one as it is. So this one bluffs on Striker's Cove.
All right. Let's leave that bluff on Striker's Cove for now. And let's all head to Miller's Grove. So alien investigation is currently at 5.
It is at 5 indeed. And you did say this was a result site for Miller's Grove, yes?
I sure did.
And with that, I got another adversary, and that is Hunter in the Dark. And I'm going to pay a whopping 7 for that bad boy. Or
all right, remind me of what she does.
Well, her long-range combat round is skipped, so she's only going to be dealing out 4 close range. But she's got 5 health. She's a primordial creature, by the way, just like Darkness Falls was earlier.
Okay, she's got 5 health, so we're skipping long range, going right to close range.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I have enough to take her out in close range, but she's going to take out one of my agents.
Well, if I target Mulder's got 5 health, so she doesn't quite have enough to take him down as is. So, yeah, so your team has a total of how much long range? Or I'm sorry, not how much long range, close range.
The total close range for the team is 2, 4,
2.
5, 6, 7.
Okie doke. And yeah, that's obviously way more than enough to defeat her. So she's going to deal out.
Pay 1 to play
We're-
Watch
we're-
Out.
Okay, watch out. So, tell us what that does.
So basically, this allows me to choose who on my team gets the damage allocated to them.
Okay. Okie doke.
Play this card when your opponent is about to assign damage. I can choose which of the agents or adversaries under my control take the damage. Damage cannot be split unless I play a card that allows me to do so. So
yeah,
I would assign that all to Kresge.
Yeah, he's got 4 bloody health amongst him. So yeah, that the Hunter in the Dark will get to take him out then, won't she? All right. So yeah, I guess Kresge's on his way to the hospital. So he's the pawn in this.
He is.
That's a cool card right there.
Yeah, I don't believe at least I can't recall a time we've ever seen that played.
No, I can't recall either. So we do see Take Cover played more often, but yeah, Watch Out, not so much. So good card. Not bad. Well, the Hunter in the Dark still got her man. It just wasn't the right one. And so therefore you're going to get yourself a question now. So bravo on that one.
All right, a result question, and I'm playing catch up, so I'm going to take the low-hanging fruit graciously. It's going to be a death question.
Yeah, I think that's a no, but let me double check. Yeah, that's a no.
Alrighty.
But yeah, 13 X-Files eliminated from your checklist, so it's not too shabby.
Yeah, we're in a pure numbers game here, so any thought I had of getting cute with it kind of goes out the window.
All right, nicely done. All right, well, 2 adversaries played, so it's been an interesting game thus far.
So who are you going to assign the damage on that, just out of curiosity?
Well, Burke was the other one that had alien investigation. So he was he seemed like the more likely one, considering that he was going to contribute to the skill check. Granted, you were still going to get enough just from Mulder alone for that monocyte, but yeah, that was the thought process.
Right. The advantage of Kresge is he has the 4 health, so he'll be able to double heal.
Yep. Yeah, and you're not going to be missing him in the course of this, other than his long range, close range combat. Should another adversary come about, otherwise you're like Kresge who in the meantime.
Yep, and I have 7 cards.
Okie doke. 6 for me. Oh no, 7 for me, and it's back to me then. Free card. Let's see what we got here. All right, so on top of that new card, I'm also going to generate 5 resource points. It's going to take my pool up from 5 to 10. And I do have that, so keep that in mind. Let's get 4 cards. Over to you.
Let's see. I'll sell Sharon Kavit for 3.
Good witness.
Yeah, I hate to see her go, but so far all I've seen is primordial adversaries out of you. So my sense is she's probably not gonna get much use here.
It's very smart.
Let's see. Do I want to draw any? Got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. Hold on. Let me math this out. I'm good. No draw.
No draw. And with that, let's well, I might as well just play this now, since my team's all out in the field. Reading the signs. And I'm going to play that for 0 because it, well, costs 0. And I'm going to play on a team in the field. If the team makes an occult investigation 4 skill check, they may take 2 conspiracy points from their opponent's conspiracy pool and add them to their own pool. So that's going to take mine up
Glad
to
I
8.
didn't draw any. Look at that.
Yeah. Oh, I think I one too many there. So yeah, I had 6, so I should have 9 or 8 now. And you have how many left now? 6?
Yep.
Okay. And let's skip past healing again, and we're gonna also skip past requisition for deployment. Let's just keep them all out in the field, doing pretty good as we are. And for case assignment, we got I'll give Janice's RP back too. I forgot to do that earlier. And for case assignment, let's put down Aleister Crowley High School, Milford Haven, New Hampshire. That's a multi-site with the keywords occult investigation, observation, affiliation, and result. And because it has the keyword observation, Karen Kossoff's going to use her resource point to pay for that one. We're also going to put down Church of the Red Museum, Delta Glen, Wisconsin. And that's another multi-site. Subterfuge and medical, affiliation and method. So affiliation is the common one amongst them. As for paying, I'm going to use Janice's resource point to pay for that because it has the keyword medical. I'm going to generate 1 from Dr. Osborne because, again, it's got the keyword medical on it. What do you got as far as bluffs go?
Oh, I don't know. Let's see. Kind of want to make you split your stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you've already used your eliminating the source now, so yeah, could be wise for me to bear in mind some of the other potential conspiracy cards you might have that would be detrimental to a team that's trying to divide and conquer.
Yeah, I'll bluff down. Could you remind me what the sites are? Sorry.
Aleister Crowley has observation and occult investigation, affiliation and result, so Sandman's good there. Church of the Red Museum, subterfuge and medical, affiliation and method, not so good for the Sandman there.
You can bluff Church of the Red Museum.
All right, 1 bluff's going on there. I'm going to use... I need something here. I'm just going to get a random card and put that on there as a marker. And let's say before we send our agents out, I'm going to play warning for the... before I send my agents out, I'm going to play warning from the Loa for 2, and that's going to take my pool down to 7. And I'm going to force you to reveal any adversary cards you have in your hand. If you have 1 or more, discard them at random.
You got 2. Mechanic
Sandman and Mechanic. Okay, so 1 is going bye-bye.
All right, A or B?
Let's get rid of B.
The Sandman.
To be or not to be, and the Sandman has been put to sleep. So that takes care of Warner from the Loa. The Mechanic has an affiliation activator, which is unfortunate because that applies to both of these sites. So, got to be mindful of that now. How are we going to do this? It's ballsy knowing you got that adversary. And there's that bluff. Let's take a pass on Church of the Red Museum for the time being. And let's just go ahead and send them all to Aleister Crowley. Sound good? Since there's no bluffs on there.
Yep, you've got it, because I can't afford the mechanic.
Oh yeah, because it's cost 7 and you only have 6. I didn't even think of that. Okay. Well,
you made the right choice anyway.
Yeah. Let's see if I make the right choice in the question. But by the way, just for shits and giggles, I was going to go Occult Investigation as my prerequisite. Hosting's got 4, Kosov's got 2, and Scully's got 1.
Like 20.
Yeah. So Occult and Medical are the only thing I'm like in the blue on. Everything else is like, green or red or gray. It's if you're looking at the colors on Yost's checklist with regards to this agent team. So affiliation and result is what I'm looking at. So just going purely by the numbers and seeing what we can eliminate. Let's see how many deaths. Oh my God, there's a lot of death results of the ones still remaining. So Nathan, by any chance, is your X-Files result death?
Yes, it is.
All right. I was hoping you'd say no.
Well, you're 2 for 2.
Yeah. All right. But that only that didn't shave off as many as I was hoping, but it's not bad. Can't knock it.
It's gonna be hard for me to come back in this thing.
Well, I don't think I want to guess yet because this is fun. I've got a really good deck. We haven't really gotten deep into it yet, so no identity question as of yet. Let's send Aleister Crowley to the trash bin, and we are going to hopefully maybe revisit Church of the Red Museum at a later time. So,
and I have 4 cards.
Let's I got to get rid of just 1, so bear with me if you don't mind. I'll get rid of the first aid, and that'll leave me with 7, and it's over to you.
All right. Draw my freebie. We'll generate 2 res. Let's see.
That.
I'll draw an additional 1, so 3 total cards, and then pass over to you.
Thank you. I really don't want to part with these cards, but it seems like I might have to. Well, I'm going to sell medical treatment for 1, hell money for 4, and let's get rid of evasive maneuvers for 4 as well. So that's a total of 9. I'll take it up to 11. Yeah, that hurts. Knowing that you've got that adversary, I'm like, and I'm getting rid of some of these good cards. So, what do we want to buy? Maybe let's do. I don't got 4 cards anymore. Let's go with 4 more. Yeah. So I mean with 7, 4 more cards going in my hand.
Okay. Healing. We are going to get 2 healing from Kresge. No requisition. Kosov gets to join the crew during deployment. For case assignment, I'm going to use one of Mulder's tokens and play 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬, alien investigation 4+ in motive.
Motive. Okay. And we're going to at least put down, and we still have the other site that has a bluff on it as well.
Correct. Striker's Cove.
Let's see. One there. Two on that one. Okay, so 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 has 2 bluffs on it.
Okay.
And the conundrum. What's the other one called?
Striker's Cove.
Yeah.
Has a conundrum bluff on it.
I don't know if that's what you heard. Yeah, we'll leave the 1 bluff on that one. So yeah, 1 bluff on Striker's Cove, 2 on 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬.
All right.
I want to welcome Conceited Ape from Australia to the live chat. Thanks so much for tuning in from down under.
Well, I think given the possible slip of the tongue there, I've got to see what's under Striker's Cove. So I'll send everybody there.
All right, we're going to Striker's Cove, and so we're going to set aside 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 with its 2 intimidating bluffs. And so tell us what your team's evidence collection, right, that they're applying to that?
Evidence collection is 2, 3, 4, 5 total on a 4+ check.
Sounds good. And we're going to flip over that bluff, and it sure enough was the conundrum. I forgot I put that on there, and I was like, what card's under there? Oh, it's the yeah. So I'll go ahead and pay 2. And do you have a Langley to knock out that one?
I do.
You sure do.
Which is why I thought, let's go take care of it.
Yeah. All right.
I can handle the 1 bluff. I kind of know what I'm getting into going there.
Yep. Yeah.
But, we'll see what else you got.
Let's see. So break it down, the evidence collection for me, if you don't mind.
Sure. So 2 from Mulder, 2 from Green, and 1 from Kosov.
Burke's got none, right?
Burke's got none.
Okay. I'm going to play Shutting Down the X-Files for 3, and that's going to take my conspiracy pool down to 2. And I'm going to plan a team containing Agent Mulder and/or Scully. Mulder must immediately be moved to the Bureau, and neither may contribute their skills to skill checks this turn.
Okay. So he's going to the Bureau. Now, interesting question here. Phoebe Green allows me to pull him back, and she also says Mulder may assist in any skill check made by the team.
Oh, geez. Oh, that is a head scratcher. Yeah, I mean, Shutting Down the X-Files says neither may contribute their skills to skill checks this turn. I don't.
So typically in Magic, we would do
I guess
the latest effect is the one that is operative, but
I guess we could do that. I mean, it's kind of fitting. It's very thematic to go that route. So, yeah, sure. Let's just do that. Spend that token.
All right. What the hell? Yeah, we'll bring him back.
Yeah. Let's do it. All right. Well, yeah, that's it for me. I've only got 2 left in the.
Plus, I'm so far behind. I don't think you have much to worry about here.
No. Well, I mean, right now you're about to get a question, and that could very well make the difference here.
I am. It's an affiliation question. And just looking down my list. Stephen, is your affiliation government?
It is not government. Right. I'm like Neo dodging bullets in the Matrix right now.
Okay. Well, that's 7 more off the list.
There it is. And
We'll
7 cards in my hand. Keeping them all. What about you?
Give me 1 minute to fix my list here, and then I'll take a look.
You got it.
All right, I think I have six. Striker's Cove is gone. Yep, so that's where we're leaving things.
All right, and we'll leave it to me to carry this game on as I pull a free card from the top of my deck, and we got ourselves a new briefing phase underway. I'm going to return Kosif's and Janice's resource points that they spent in the previous round, and I'm going to generate 5 resource points for my team, which is going to take my pool up to 12. And let's buy some cards. Let's go deep. Let's get 5. Let's leave me with 7. 5 cards.
All right.
What are you selling?
I'm going to sell evasive maneuvers for 4.
I know that pain.
Yeah. And no draw for me.
No draw. Well, interesting. I'm going to play Friend in the FBI for 2, and I'm going to take my pool down to 5 to pay for that. And I'm going to place this card in my bureau section. I'm going to place 10 tokens on it. And during my briefing phases, I may take up to 2 tokens from this card and add them to my pool. They become resource tokens. When all tokens have been removed, discard this card. Because we're still in the briefing phase, I'm just going to go ahead and take 2 off of them now, leaving me with 8 on the card, and I'm going to get 2 more back in my pool for that one, unless you have another alien experimentation you're sitting on.
Nope, sounds good.
Alrighty, and let's carry on. Let's skip past the healing phase once again, and let's skip past the deployment as well. Skip past requisition as well. For deployment, we're going to keep everyone in the field as they are, and for case assignment, we still have Church of the Red Museum in play with a bluff on it from the previous round.
Correct.
We also have Minneapolis, Minnesota, featuring Donnie Faster's Creepy House from Irresistible. And that one has the keywords medical and criminal. I'm going to use Janice's resource point to pay for it because it has the keyword medical. Dr. Osborne is going to generate 1 because it has the keyword medical. And Nathan, that's a multi-site with the keywords medical and criminal investigation, method and result. So the mechanic is not applicable, unfortunately.
Yeah, no bluffs.
No bluffs then. And all right, we still have the bluff on Delta Glen, which that one's affiliation and method. But I already know the result, so I need a... Okay. Yeah, so the result is medical, and yeah, I don't think there... Well, I have 10. I have 10 on my team, so I should be able to split these guys up. Theoretically. Let's see here. I have that. I have that. Okay, let's be ballsy here, and let's send Scully and Kosif to Minneapolis, Minnesota, and we're going to send the boys over to Delta Glen Wisconsin.
Okay.
And
which would you like to do first?
let's take care of Delta Glen, Wisconsin first. It's subterfuge or medical, and believe it or not, I'm going to go with the medical choice from there. And we've got 5 from the team. Janice has 3, hosting has 2. Exactly what I need to make that skill check. And this one has this one's affiliation and method, so the mechanic is applicable if you can afford it.
Is that the one I have the bluff on?
Yes. Why don't we take a look at that first?
Well, I can't afford it with a nasty surprise.
Very nice.
So I will pay the 2 because it's face down to add 5, 2, 3.
That was a very nasty surprise.
4, 5.
Because now looks like the mechanic's going to get to have a little fun in Delta Glen, Wisconsin, which actually is fitting because the mechanic features the crew cut man, and the crew cut man was at Delta Glen killing people. So this is very thematic.
But you wouldn't have gone to investigate that site.
Well, I do got my boy Manners there.
Without an answer.
I think Manners is my answer. Or he might not be the answer, but he's a likely answer.
Let's see.
It's like you're crunching the numbers there, sweating some math.
Yep, that's right.
And I want to, Conceited Ape. Kudos for getting back into the game. 25 years, it's never too late, my friend. Never too late at all. Do you have any other? Tell us do you have other people in your neck of the woods down there who also are into the game? Are you doing some like in-person games, or thinking maybe of doing some live ones? Because we do have a platform here for that. If you're interested. Same goes for you, Carl, by the way, if you're still tuning in. Carl from earlier. Yes. Any of you guys, I know you guys are in our Discord community, so, we talk about scheduling our games there all the time. So if you guys ever want to get down on the Alien Investigations channel, sling some cardboard with us, you know where to find me.
Yeah, I am going to pay the 7 there and play the mechanic.
Nice. And so, affiliation site is his activator. And believe it or not, I don't actually have to resort to Manners to.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah, because I have I pulled the exact witness earlier. So Sheriff Mazeroski is going to come out, and I'm going to pay 2. Oh, by the way, government. By the way, government is a keyword on mechanic. Yes.
Yeah.
Boom.
But you don't get hold up. You don't get the points for conspiracy cards.
Anytime a keyword government or medical card is played, and there are no government.
I thought those were only those witnesses were only
when it's my turn. When I'm the investigator.
Okay.
Player. Yeah. If I was the conspiracy player and I'm throwing government cards, I'm not getting it at that point. So, and actually, this is very fitting also because once I pay 2 for Sheriff Mazeroski, he's going to negate a government pawn, which is very fitting because Sheriff Mazeroski took down the crew cut man in Delta Glen, Wisconsin. So how fitting is that, Nathan? That is the Red Museum episode playing out right there, my friend. How awesome is that?
It's good stuff.
Good stuff.
All right,
indeed. Oh, but I'm not going to discard Delta Glen because I still got a question to ask.
Yep. So you're going to
discard Sheriff Mazeroski, though. Yeah. All right. Anything? You don't want to play anything else, I assume, right?
No. You'll get your question there.
Okay. Cool. And we got ourselves a result question, which I already know, so there's no point in asking that. But affiliation is looking pretty appealing at this point. Nathan, by any chance, is your X-Files affiliation evolutionary?
Well, let's take a look.
Probably a yes, because that's the numbers.
That is a yes.
Yeah, I should have. Yeah, it seems like when I don't want a yes answer is when I get it. So now I've got you down to 3, but I was really hoping you would say no. All right, but Delta Glenn really paid off. That case is closed. We're moving on to no identity question. Or, well, yeah, no identity question. Let's see what happens at Minneapolis. And this is very interesting because Karen Kosef and Scully are investigating this together. Karen Kosef first appeared in the Irresistible episode where she counseled Scully at post-abduction in the episode Irresistible. So this is very fitting. We've got the episode Irresistible playing out right here. And we're going to be applying their medical skills to this site, for which Scully's got 4, Kosef's got 1, exactly what I need. Method and results are the questions. I mean, you're sitting on 2 conspiracy points. I'm not sure how deadly you can be.
I'm paying 4 to play my next card. Kosef's going to be counseling her somewhere else. I'm going to play local law enforcement are uncooperative.
Oh shoot! Yeah, I got nothing for that.
Site.
Darn it. Yeah. By the way, what keywords are on that card?
Event, negate, criminal investigation.
Dang. I was hoping for the consolation of there being a government keyword on there. Okay, yeah, I can't stop that because it's criminal, and I've got no frohickeys or anything to get me out of this one. So yeah, that's that. So Donnie Faster wins this one, or I guess the local constabulary as well, because they weren't very helpful, obviously. So let's head into debriefing now. And what am I going to get?
I've only got 3 cards.
Bear with me. I got to get rid of 1. And let's get rid of. Might want that. I hate to do it, but Vicious Fangs.
Okay. I'll draw my freebie. We'll generate finally my normal amount of res.
Mm-hmm.
And let's draw some bonus cards here. Let's draw an extra 3 for a total of 5.
Okay.
And then I'll pass it over to you.
And I'm going to get rid of Victor Klemper for 3 and a White Buffalo for 4. That's 7. It's going to take it up to 9. Let's see. Let's go with 2 cards. Let's see what you got. And by the way, Conceited Ape says, thinking about online. Also, I'm extremely lucky that a local friend has dived headlong into the game. That's what we like to hear, based on my word of mouth. Excellent, excellent. Good stuff. You get the best of both worlds with that. Very nice.
All right, I am not going to do any requisition healing. We're going to get 2 off Kresge. He's going to rejoin his friends.
And give Kosef her resource point back.
Oh, yeah. Cool. Because I'll probably use it here. Let's see. Give me 1 second.
Yep. No rush. I'm contemplating my cards.
I'm going to play 2 sites for case assignment. I'm going to use Kosef's token to play NASA Mission Control. And I'm going to pay 1 to play Dead Horse, Alaska. So Dead Horse, alien investigation, evidence collection, 5+, affiliation or result question.
Okay.
NASA is sciences or observation, affiliation or result.
And let's put 1, 2. Yeah. 1 bluff on each. And you still have your other one from earlier with 2 bluffs on.
2 bluffs. Yeah.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I'm just checking. I'm not going to accidentally slip what they are, but I'm just looking. What were they again? Okay, that's what they were.
Okay, so I'm going to send everybody to Dead Horse.
Dead Horse. All right, tell us which skill are you going with there?
I think we're going to, let's see. I think it's a horse apiece.
Fitting. Dead Horse. Haha. Nicely done.
So,
yeah, 6 either or 5. No, 6. Yeah, 6 evidence, maybe 5 alien, right?
I think it's 5. I think it's 5 each.
Oh, 5 each.
2,
okay. Yeah.
2 evidence.
I keep forgetting Bert. How does Bert
he doesn't
not
have any
evidence? It's weird.
Well, he's an office guy. He's an office guy. He's not out there collecting evidence.
He's examining it.
Yeah, let's just be fun about this. I'm gonna go. Let's do an alien investigation, and I'm gonna make it a 4+. I will ask if the result is manipulation of evidence.
Okay.
And so all you have to do is take out Mulder.
We got a nasty surprise. You hit me with a nasty surprise. I'm hitting you with one.
Sure. Sounds good.
No. Oh, you've already used your Langley's, so I'm gonna. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, you got it. You got it.
All right. Cool. All right. That was a nice nasty surprise there. So I got 10. So the question is now, this should be interesting. I'm going to play Suppressed Fury for 5, and that's going to take my pool down to 5. That has a result site activator, by the way.
Cool.
And it's a primordial creature. You've noticed the pattern here. And
I don't think Burke is going to do much for me this game.
Yeah. But hey, here's the beauty part of this is he's got no long range. So you guys are going to get to, apply all your long range damage to him. However, regardless of how much damage is done to this creature in long range, it will attack in the close range combat round. So he's only got 2 close range.
Okay. All right. So I'm sure I'm gonna. How much health does he have?
9.
Well, first of all, I have nothing to negate him. So we're gonna go to combat here.
All right. So combat it is. All right. So you have what, 9 long range or something, right?
2, 4, 5, 6. I have 8 long range. Yeah.
8 long range? Oh, okay. Well, he's got 9, so he's just sliver of health left. By the way, this is the Gen Con Suppressed Fury. Yeah, I would. Those are the only Scully here, Suppressed Fury. Those are the only 2 Gen Con cards I have, and I'm just looking forward. I'm glad I finally got to play them both in the same game. So, yep. I know you're not gonna see them on the sample deck video, but yes, I'm playing with Gen Con cards. Everything's the same.
You don't have to edit this one. I mean, you could always just leave it up.
I would. No, I'm gonna make the sample video so everyone can see what sample decks were. If anyone likes the cards we were playing with tonight, they got the sample deck video to play with there. So yeah,
He's
Suppressed
got
Fury. Yeah, So he's got a sliver of health left as we go into a close range combat round. So 1 health is remaining on this guy. He's got 2 close range, right? 2 close range. That's not much, right, Nathan? Before we assign damage, did you want to play any combat cards? I forgot to ask you.
Well, I get the feeling that you want to.
I
do not want to.
If you're asking, I mean, I'm happy to play.
What are you going to throw down, Steven?
I'm going to throw down a Rending Claw for 0.
Right.
And that's going to be played on any primordial or occult adversary to add 1 to its close range. Just 1. Just 1. So he's going to get 3.
Okay.
All right. So 3 close range damage is going to get applied to 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬, and that's going to be enough to 0 out her health. She's sent to the hospital. But bully for you, you still got enough evidence to go around.
Well, it's an alien, but yeah.
Oh, alien. Sorry, you do an alien. I forgot. Sorry, alien. So yeah, that actually I could have gone with Burke, but I don't know.
Rending Claws is a pretty nice little add on there.
Yeah, it's as you probably noticed, I went with all primordial adversaries for this deck, which means then I included primordial combat cards should they come up. So yeah, there's a pattern. So Burke's adversary negating token is useless, and you were right about getting rid of Share and Convete. The evolutionary adversary is not going to that effect is not going to get used at all. So yep, only primordial adversaries that we're working with on my end anyway. So,
all right, so right now I'm still on pace to make this site with a 4+ check. Anything else you want to throw in my way?
There is one more. There's one more thing, Nathan, because you know how you hit me with that local law enforcement is uncooperative earlier? I know that's not applicable here, but I'm going to sort of return the favor with an evidence destroyed for 4, leaving me with 1. And yeah, that's going to negate 1 keyword evidence collection card.
Alrighty. Sounds good. All right. Then I have 7 cards.
And you didn't divide the team up. That's right. So those other 2 sites, we'll visit those another time then.
That's right.
All right. Fun stuff. Yep, I got 4, keeping them all. Back to me.
Yep.
All right, cool. Free card. And let's return Janice's resource point back to him. And we're going to generate 5 resource points. Takes my pool up to 12. And I'm going to take 2 from friend in the FBI. Just going to take it up to 14. Let's get a lot of cards because I got 14 to work with here. Let's go deep. Let's go with 6. And that'll leave me with 8. So this could be the final round, so that's why I'm going deep.
Whoa.
I mean, it could be.
A little presumptuous there, my friend.
When you're at the point when 1 X-File is narrowed down to 3, there's a good there's a chance.
A little presumptuous.
It's one of those where as long as the investigation's successful, whether the question's right or wrong, stuff is getting narrowed down.
I'm gonna do my best to make you eat those words.
That means more game time for the viewers who are tuning in. So yeah, it's a win either way. And let's see. All right, so played my first game since 2000. It says conceded 8. Got my butt kicked, but I didn't care. I was just so happy to be playing a game that I thought was dead forever. Yes.
Yeah, this is good stuff. We've been reliving some good episodes today. Irresistible.
I swear, the cards are playing out like the events of the episodes. It's so much fun when that happens. All right, so at this point, are you selling anything?
Yeah, did you draw?
Yeah, I got.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got 8 left after doing my spending, and and I bought 6 cards to hopefully get me through this round.
I'm going to sell Kevlar Vest for 3, Aubrey for 2, and Ambush for 2. Total 7 coming in.
And I'm going to play my second hard evidence that just came up. Oh, by the way, sorry, I didn't ask if you're buying anything. You haven't been buying anything really, so I just was getting presumptuous.
Let's see. How much CP do I have in here? 4, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I think the trend is going to continue of not buying.
All right. And so my hard evidence that I just played took my resource pool up to 11. And we're going to exit the briefing phase and head into healing, actually skipping past healing because we don't need to do that. We're going to skip past requisition again. And gosh, I was hoping some of my field equipment would come up, but it just isn't. Let's keep everyone deployed in the field. And for case assignment, what do we have? One site? Yeah, we got one site, and it's the Big Apple again, New York. We're heading back there, and it's if memory needs a refresher, it's medical and behavioral as the prerequisites, affiliation and result. Which, dang it, I already know both of those, don't I? Yeah, that sucks. I already know those two, so I'm gonna have to guess. All right. Well, it's the only side I have, so it's all I got to do. Anyway, Karen, who's paying for this? Let's see, who's paying? What do I got? Either of them can pay for this one because it's medical or behavioral. So let's do. I guess we'll do Janice. Janice can pay for that, and then I'll generate one more courtesy of Dr. Osborne.
Okay.
I don't have any other sites in play. That's weird. Yeah, I thought I had another bluff, but these are all your bluffs. Or, well, my bluffs on your sites is what these are.
Yeah, I'm going one bluff on that site.
Yeah, no, it's too bad I don't have I need another site. All right. Something where I can ask a meaningful question. Right? Because, yeah, I know you're... Okay, so the only thing I don't know is your method at this point. I know your affiliation, I know your motive, I know your result. I just don't know the method. That's all that's left here. Fancy that. All right, so we got one bluff on that site. Let's send them all in. We're going to apply our medical skills, which, as you know, I've got a whopping 10 medical to my team's name here. What do you got?
Okay. I have a Detective Thompson.
Yep.
So what is your bureaucracy skill on that team?
Oh, my bureaucracy is... I got nothing on bureaucracy.
All right, well, I will pay for it.
Cool. And he's primordial, right?
Yeah, he is.
Okay, just checking because I got Osborne here. I'm gonna play Langley for 2. Boom.
Okay. So it is a medical check right now?
Yep, medical check. I've got double what I needs.
All right.
You have any other cards? I mean, you got a lot of conspiracy points there.
I do. I do.
As you said, you're going to make this one count because I was so presumptuous in that I might be able to get it out. But
well, I mean, you might still have it out. We'll see. I'm going to pay.
I got to take 1 and 3. Guess.
Yeah, I'm going to pay 4 and play authorized access only. So nice. Subterfuge 4+.
And I'm going to.
You will automatically fail it.
What's that?
Subterfuge 4+, or you will automatically fail it.
I'm not going to automatically fail because I've got options here. I'm going to play Grid Pattern Search for 2. And if I'm not mistaken, I did play 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 earlier to negate.
But I negated. Yeah, so he's in there.
He is in there. So I think he's at the very beginning, right? Wasn't? Because I felt like that was early on, right? Where is 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬? Yep, there he is. I'm going to get 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 back out of the discard pile. And I'm going to pay 3, leaving me with 5 in the pool. And thanks to Grid Pattern Search and 𝐗-𝐷i𝐥e𝐬, that authorized access is now authorized.
All right. Would you like to ask your identity question?
I guess so. After all that work, and I'm only still going to get just a question. Oh, well, see, this is interesting. I guess I have to ask a question because when I get it wrong, you're going to get to ask the same characteristic type. So what question do I want you to ask? I'm gonna ask a result since you already know. Wait, don't you? You already did. No, you don't know my result. You don't
I
know
know
anything
nothing
about.
about your X-File right now.
Yeah, I know. I know. Yeah. So
I had no correct answers.
yeah, and you've already asked like what you've asked death, and you asked I think if you asked an affiliation question.
Correct.
So yeah, either way, that's going to help you. So yeah, I'll ask Nathan: is your X Files affiliation evolutionary? Yes, it is. Now we go to the guess. I've got you down to Augustus Cole, Leonard, detachable congenital twin, and Cecil Lively. Hmm. I feel like Leonard is the I don't know, like I know you choose random usually, but we tend to avoid Leonard and Toombs because they're the common characteristics. Cecil Lively would be very thematic, considering you've got Mulder and Phoebe Green, and you built the deck around it. So the question is, did you pick your X file also based on that? Yeah, for that reason, I'm going to ask Nathan. By any chance, is your X file Cecil Lively Fire Hands?
There he is.
It is Fire Hands. Boom.
That was not the reason he was picked. He was just in the box. So
Okay. But I feel like it's very fitting though, because yeah, you did build your deck around the Mulder Green pairing, which is from the episode Fire. So very thematic, very thematic. Yeah, well, good, cool, fun game. This was a really fun use of the sample decks.
I mean,
And
it
I
would have
like
been
that
pretty stupid of me to pick the X, like to try to do theme based on your agents to pick your X file.
a little bit, yeah. But I knew you were.
You're
I
just
figured you probably
asking
wouldn't
for
have
it.
picked. But like, even when you pick random, let me ask: when you pick random, and you pull like, oh, that's Toombs. Like, you don't want him, right? Because all the common like evolutionary death, right?
Yeah, I don't really throw him back.
Okay, you wouldn't throw it
You
back
know,
in that
lively. I saw his result was death, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. You know,
whatever.
there are X Files that have the result death. Who cares? We're not
Yeah.
going to not use them just because. You know, I think Toombs is kind of a unique case because he's got
And
both
so is
of those.
Leonard. Leonard's also evolutionary death, violence method. You know, it's like he's also fairly common. Hey, by the way, like this is yeah, thanks conceited ape. Yes, thank you so much. This is actually like a very like unlikely win because in the games that I have played with Nathan, I traditionally I've lost most of the games that I've played with Nathan handily. Like it's been pretty one-sided for a long time. And I think only maybe like the last two games we played, I feel like maybe I've started to make a small comeback. But for the longest time, like I was like, I couldn't get a win to save my life.
Yeah,
You put
there's a
my
lot of
most
sealed in
formidable.
there too,
Yeah.
and so you're at the mercy of your sealed pool. But
Yep.
you know, this was also like I suppose I could have put stuff like grid pattern search in here, but I'm just like I wanted to make this again a pretty accessible sample
Mhm.
deck, so I don't have, you know, for example, I only put one Frohickey in here.
Oh, because
Um,
of the rarity?
yeah,
Oh,
because I'm
okay.
just
Yeah.
like, you know, I'm not sure that people are gonna have a full complement of like, oh, you know, it's easy for us to have two of every card,
Yeah.
or in some cases, eight of every card, or 15 of every card. But some people don't have that. So I tried to keep
Mhm.
it more of a singleton kind of format. I think the only rare I have two of, at least as far as, you know, non-site kind of things, is eliminating the source, which was
Mhm.
kind of a centerpiece of the deck, I guess. And the thinking being, if you can, you know, if you can string a few turns along where they can't investigate stuff, right?
Yeah.
Then and you limit them to criminal investigation or evidence collection, and then you throw stuff in there like conundrum or local law enforcement or uncooperative, then you can kind of manage the game a little bit. Now
Yeah.
that gets really hard when your opponent gets the first 2 questions right. There's not much you can do about that. But
Yeah. Lucky guesses.
that was kind of the thinking on it, is like you're trying to do like just enough to throw obstacles at your opponent, whether it's one of the government adversaries or Detective Thompson, limiting them to investigating criminal investigation, evidence collection sites, like trying to throw just enough things in front of them to make it hard for them to finish off sites. And I feel like I did that with you. Like there were a fair number, I think at least 2 or 3 sites that you couldn't complete.
Nope. At least, yeah, you got me on 2 or 3 for sure. You hit me with the local law enforcement. You also got me with you got me with eliminating the source. That knocked off 2 sites that round. Yeah, no, that was a pretty good. Yeah, it was the government, or I'm sorry, the conspiracy portion of your deck was very heavy on like those criminal investigation keyword cards that were really hitting me hard, because I really scrimped on. I narrowed my team's focus to just medical. They have enough occult, but when it's like they're being demanded to do only criminal and evidence, like that's like I didn't even have enough criminal to investigate like Minneapolis for 5. I only had 4 criminal investigation on my team, so it was like, even if I could just only investigate criminal, I couldn't even have investigated that. So there's a lot of weaknesses with this team that you did get to you got to exploit it a little bit, but not even like the full extent of it, considering like a lot of those common ones like Sheriff Daniels would have gotten me, Detective Thompson, you played it, but I actually happen to have language there. Authorized access, you did actually get to play it, but fortunately I had the answer with the grid pattern search. But yeah, you were like, yeah, it's like if I didn't have those right cards at that time, then those cards normally would be a round ender, a turn ender. I'm sorry for this team.
So I feel like I feel like the conspiracy part of this did what it was supposed to. I guess if I were to tinker with it, I would bolster the investigating player portion of it by adding something like grid search, by adding another 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬. If you wanna build it out, you could. I did include some stuff, anti-adversary stuff. You saw evasive maneuvers that I sold. There's a Skinner. Skinner intervenes in here, just to try to tinker around without including the ultra rare X.
I think I think if it's okay, if thinking about where, like you said, like things you would do differently now that you had a chance to give it a test run. Before I do this video for your deck, let me know like what sort of last minute changes you want to make it a refined one, so that when people go and watch the video and they're like, okay, I want to make that deck. I agree. Maybe like a 2 grid patterns, 2 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬s, just to round it off. Proxies, people, even if you don't have the rare card, the extra rare card, go proxies on this. Proxies are great. They're your friends. They're cheap, effective. Just scrawl 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 on a piece of paper and shove it into the sleeve of a common card that you don't use. So yeah, proxies are good. By the way, before we continue on, I wanted to address a question that Conceited Ape asked earlier. Are there X-Files that should sometimes be avoided? And if only by matter of numbers. There, as we talked about, I think at the very beginning of this recording, that or maybe it was behind the scenes, I can't recall. I think it was behind the scenes, actually. So if you note the results on the checklist, 13 of those results are death, and so therefore result death is sort of a low-hanging fruit. So when your opponent gets a result question as a result of a successful investigation, then they're going to be like, yeah, I'm going to go death because there's so many and I get to scratch off 13 and get your X-File down from 41 to 28 right with that one question. So people oftentimes are going to ask, if they get the result question, they're going to go death. So you might consider avoiding choosing an X-File with the result death if you're not going random. Also, as far as affiliations go, evolutionary is a low-hanging fruit because there are 9 as opposed to 8 of all the other affiliations. So people often, when they get that affiliation question, they go evolutionary for their first guess because they're playing the numbers game. And so they're invariably going to ask evolutionary. So you might avoid X-Files like Tombs, like Walt Cecil Lively, like Leonard Detachable Congenital Twin that have evolutionary and death as Augustus Cole's another one that have evolutionary and result as their X-File characteristics. You might, if
you could throw caution to the wind.
Exactly.
And lean into it.
Or you can lean into it, because sometimes your opponent you might get that opponent that decides to really want to big brain this, and they're like, they're probably avoiding death and evolutionary, so I'm gonna not go.
So to be fair, like I would not do that in a casual game, but I would definitely do that in a tournament.
For real, yes. Definitely in a tournament setting, you want to choose your X-File very carefully because I think invariably in tournaments, I don't know, it seems like players are more inclined to go the numbers, but at the same time, like you said, as the alternate player, they might be like, yeah, maybe I should lean into the heavier characteristics. So it's a lot of big braining.
There's really, in my opinion, there's too much like trying to strategize X-File selection.
A lot of overthinking.
To me, that should not be a feature of the game. But you're stuck with an odd numbered checklist, and it's just kind of the hand we've been dealt. So, kudos to Stephen and 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬. And I don't know if anyone else is working on it with you, but the idea of revamping the checklist, I think, is kind of a much needed one, just because it's getting old. It's getting old with the violence and the death and the evolutionary.
For real, I'm looking forward to when we get these new checklists rolled out. When you guys are looking at it and you're like, okay, manipulation of evidence. I'm going with that because there's a nice handy spattering of them on the checklist compared to death, and so yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys ask those. Like you're gonna be like, okay, is your method possession, which we don't hear very often? Is your result abduction? We're gonna hear those sort of questions we don't hear as often because there are so few of them on the original one. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. And yeah, we are working on bringing out that expansion for anyone who's not aware. It's a mini expansion, 41 new X-File cards. We're gonna throw in a few promos like we always do for these fan-made sets. So it's gonna be a 45 card expansion. So you're going to get the 41 X-Files plus the checklist. And so then you're going to be able to print that out, and you're going to be able to play with a brand new list of X-File cards from seasons 3 and 4, because the original checklist only has X-Files from seasons 1 and 2. So the new checklist, you're going to get new, beautiful X-Files, beautifully constructed by 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬. And that's just the first of several X-File expansion checklists. There's going to be 4 coming out, because we're going to cover the entire run. We're going to have all the seasons and movies represented on those checklists when all's said and done. So yeah, I mean, we should be pretty much playtesting it whenever we do a game. It's just, yeah, we got to get 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬. I got to talk to him about making those cards available for the playtesters to just print them out. Print out the cards, print out the checklists, use them in the games, these friendly games that we're doing. Let's see. Do we have any other questions? David Peace just wants to know, traditionally, hey, everyone, how'd it go tonight? I think it went great. I think it was a good showing of our staple decks.
Of course, you think it went great. No, it did. It did. This was a good. There was a good back and forth, I think, at a lot of these sites. Steven got. It's really, in this game, it's really hard to come back when your opponent gets, a couple right answers right off the bat. But still, I made an attempt at it. We had. How many did I have you? I should probably take a guess at your X-File just for fun.
Go for it. Yeah, and so David P. So in a nutshell, what happened was my very first question I got right, control motive, and that really knocked it down pretty quickly.
Yeah, and that one, there's so few already.
Yeah, and after that though, Nathan was he was upending a good like half of my X-Files investigations, like he was stopping them with his conspiracy cards. It's just that whenever I so happened to actually get a question through, I kept getting him right for most part. So I got his results. I got his result right on the first guess. I got his affiliation right first guess. It was just yes, 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 and even at times when I wanted the answer to be no because it would narrow it down even further, it just kept coming up yes. It doesn't always happen that way. Anyway, take a guess. What X-File do you think I'm
gonna go with an alien X-File. It's gonna be 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬.
And you would have been right. Yeah.
Holy you're kidding me. Wow.
𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬. Yeah. That was the one.
Wow.
Nicely done. Yeah.
Holy
and
cow.
I think
I legit had 22 of your X-Files left. So that is, there we go. That's something that I can end on a high note there.
The nature of this game, it's like no matter how finely crafted your deck is, your opponent could be doing your opponent could be doing not as well, but then they get the question right. It's like, what happened there, you know? And it's like, I know that's part of like why people rag on the game. It's like, the lucky guesses don't make it fun. I'm like, I don't know. It's chaos. It's chaos, baby. I feel like that makes it even more enjoyable right there. Yeah. More X-Files. Yes, more X-Files. And they're so nice to look at. The template is beautiful. It's a merging of two colors from the fan-made expansions from which they're derived. So it's a two-tone color palette going on there. They're very nice to look at. And yeah, you'll see them in due time. If you're in our Discord, you're in our Preservation Society Facebook group, you will see them soon. They are so much fun. And yeah,
the more I think about it, Steven, the more I think let's just run this deck as it is. I mean, they don't have to all be, optimized. If people are playing casually and they're not locked in too, if they want to substitute some cards here and there, like go for it. This is just kind of a base to work off of. So let's just leave it as is, and you can do the sample video based on what you've got.
All right. And so tell us a little bit about like the adversaries that we saw. Like we saw the Sandman, we saw the Mechanic. What other adversary? Like, how did you construct the adversary portion of your deck?
Yeah, great question. So I am using some combat cards. You saw one of them, which was Watch Out in the game. I had Ambush in my hand the rest of the game, which is a clue for how the adversaries approach things. They can all use subterfuge combat cards. So the deck has two ambushes in it, which are subterfuge cards. And as far as the adversaries that can use them, I have 6 government adversaries in this deck. 2 copies each of the red-haired man. And I guess I'll just.
And the Sandman's your one evolutionary, right?
There we go. The red-haired man. 2 copies of Crew Cut Man. There we go. I have 2 copies of Find Him. The Mechanic. There we go. Who is a government adversary as well. And then yes, the Sandman I have 1 of. Deadly Blur I have 1 of.
Alien, yeah. But they all use subterfuge.
They all use subterfuge cards, and then I have so many government adversaries. So I do have 1 body armor in the deck as well, which adds to what it prevents.
I think it cuts down on their damage.
Yeah, to reduce damage from long range and close range combats by 1. So, and it costs 2. There it is. Which is a card we don't really see, but I was like, we're using so many government adversaries. Why not go for it? So.
And I really like to underscore that deck building tip about just choosing maybe focus on, because there are so many adversaries to choose from. So, and the best way to do it is to just go aim for one particular characteristic amongst them. You've got government adversaries, you've got alien adversaries, evolutionary ones, primordial ones, occult adversaries that can use subterfuge combat cards, adversaries that can use martial arts combat cards. those 7, just pick one and just lean into that for your deck and get the combat cards that apply to those adversaries and add those in there, because when you're going narrow like that, you're going to have better chances of getting to actually play those in the course of the game, because your deck's not going to be overloaded with all these different possibilities that you're trying to make, because you got to go fairly lean in order to make some of these pretty cool combinations actually occur. In the case of my deck, I went with just primordial adversaries for this one. And so I only included primordial combat cards. At least I also had first aids, but those are for the agent's use. But for the adversaries, the primordial combat cards, which you got to see one of them played tonight. And yeah, the interesting thing with the primordial adversaries is that all of them have a result activator. like holy cow! Like, and thankfully you were playing result sites, because I was like, oh man, this is going to be hard if these.
You and I think, disagree a little bit there on the adversary contents. Like, for that reason, I would not play only primordial adversaries. You can also get caught in a trap with things like Work a Deal. Is that the right card I'm thinking of? The one that you can't play government adversaries or something like that?
Yes. Well, no. Work a Deal. Oh, well, Work a Deal will negate one government adversary, which is the answer to Joseph Patnick. It's the only real way to negate him, other than like hell money. But if you do the whole taped intelligence thing,
then it locks.
Then it would, but you got to do the taped intelligence thing first, and that's like, yeah, you got to equip that card, then get rid of it. When you play Work a Deal. So yeah, maybe I think I did it once. It was pretty cool. But yeah, it stopped. Yeah, but that's the thing is, your opponent, when they're building their deck, they might be like, okay, I'm going to include Dr. Blockhead, I'm going to include Burke, I'm going to include the 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬, and they're going to have all these contingencies for all these different adversary types, like I do with manners.
I know, right? This is funny to hear, because you're basically deck building against yourself. I don't typically include those cards in my deck, but you do, and so it makes sense that you would be thinking of ways to counter your own deck building as you pick your adversaries.
Yeah, and knowing my opponents too, like I know when I play a game with Dave Meyer, for instance, it's like I know he usually goes Burke with his agent, so I tend to avoid occult adversaries on there. And plus, when you do that, when you lean into like one particular adversary, then your opponent, like a lot of the cards that your opponent has, like, well, I'm not going to be able to use that. I'm not going to be able to use that. Like, there goes Sharon Kavit. I can't use her. So it's like all those cards you put in there, you're not going to wind up having.
Yeah. And she was just a bonus. I mean, she hit on 2 of the skills I was actually using, and then her evolutionary negate part of it was just the cherry on top for her.
Mm-hmm.
I very much prefer, obviously if you have X, you're going to use X.
Oh yeah.
If you don't have access to X, you have a rare. Help me out, Steven. We saw it played twice. The
evasive maneuvers.
Evasive maneuvers, thank you. So if you don't have access to X, evasive maneuvers is just a rare. It'll be cheap. You can use that. That's a pretty good substitute. A little more expensive, doesn't hit quite all the adversaries, but still very, very serviceable replacement. Also, I want to plug Skinner Intervenes again, which I think is a very, very underrated card. And basically, it doesn't negate the adversary. But what it does is it pulls all your agents back. So if you're gonna get thwacked in that combat, you can Skinner Intervenes, bring them all back to the bureau. You won't get the sight off, and that's fine. You will potentially avoid, a catastrophic. If it's like a Patnick, for example, that can be catastrophic. That can send your whole team to the hospital. So it's a really useful card to prevent those combats that are really going to wreck you going forward. Mm-hmm. And that is just a common. So, anybody can send you probably 20 copies of those in the group. Just ask. It's a very, very good card if you don't have access to the ultra rare X.
Yeah, and alternately, there's the combat card Run for It, which will get one of your agents out. So, like you had Mulder, for instance, and a lot of times you just need Mulder for the 4 alien or Burke for the 4 computer to get what you need, and then you can just be like, you can play Run for It. That one's an easy combat card to get your hands on. Get that one out of there. And even Conceited Ape concurs, like, yeah, Skinner Intervenes saved my ass the other week. good card. I also want to I like to point out again, like, you mentioned evasive maneuvers for non-phenomena adversaries, which is great. But I also want to, again, underscore hell money, which is the opposite of that, where it will negate adversaries with the keyword phenomena, which includes Joseph Patnick. That is a hard adversary.
It's even better. Not just adversaries, any phenomena card that'll take out. Which,
laser
to be
barrier.
fair, I don't know. Oh, it's laser barrier phenomena too. Yeah. So I've always been hesitant to play that because I've never taken the deep dive of like how many cards does this actually hit. But maybe it'll be worth it. You can sell me on it. So it hits laser barrier, it hits Patnick. What else?
Yep. Well, yeah, so there's a lot of adversaries that do have the keyword phenomena, including, I think, the Dark Angel, for one, is another one. And let's see, ones that also have, if you look at the bluffs, there's a good number of bluffs that do have the keyword phenomena on there. And so the bluffs are going to be where having hell money on there might actually come in handy. I might have to... Like, of course, I'm blanking on it right now.
No, I'm actually going to pull up the list here.
Pull it up. Use Yoast's very handy website.
And incredibly, there are 54 cards with the keyword phenomena.
Yeah, and actually, since Hell Money is a purple card, you could play it during either turn. So having that card in either turn could prove helpful.
Yeah, so there are a mountain of first edition bluffs, like you said, that use that, including very commonly used ones like Car Troubles, Unnatural Aging, the Conundrum, some of the cards we saw, Sinus Cavity Implant, Puzzles Within Puzzles uses it. There are a lot of, well, I think the only notable event is Alien Discretion. We do see in tournament decks a lot of use of Bureaucracy Alien, there are not a ton of adversaries that use it, at least in first edition.
Pheromone-Induced Psychosis, but no one really uses that one. When you get to 1013, it's Joseph Patnick, where it's like, oh, good God, thank goodness for hell money.
A card I'm a big fan of, The List, also uses the keyword phenomena.
Yeah.
The Walk, which is just a more expensive Patnick. Why do you think we don't see the Walk played more? I feel like
because the long range combat round is not skipped for the Walk, unfortunately, which unfortunately means it's going to get damage before it gets a chance to do anything.
But everybody's at -1, so it's probably not going to kill it.
It's not going to do much. It will probably last, but it's like Patnick, you're automatically getting it because it skips Patnick skips long range, does the same thing, cuts down on the damage like the Walk does, but it's the lack of the long range round getting skipped on the Walk. Plus, it costs 5, but it's not an evolutionary creature, which means you can't negate it with like Dr. Blockhead. You are going to need hell money to get you out of that, or X to get you out of a situation with the Walk getting played. And so phenomena and evasive maneuvers. I like to include one of each in my decks because that way I feel like I'm covering my ground in whatever comes up with whatever my opponent's planning to hit me with. I've got my bases covered. I do like to include Work a Deal in there because of the first part of the effect, not because I care about the taped intelligence, but played by itself, this card will negate one government adversary for 3, which is good. Because if your opponent hits you with Patnick, you probably don't have much else unless you have that hell money. Those are your 2 cards that are going to get you out of Patnick, and he's the worst. So Work a Deal is pretty good. It only costs 3 like X does, and it gets you any government adversary, pawn or master. So it gets you the red-haired man that you had in your deck as well. So it's a good card to include in there. It gets you Pheromone-Induced Psychosis, so it gets you anything that has government keywords on there. So it's those are the good 1013 card right there. Dave Meyer likes to say, who really runs with hell money? And I'll tell you, I do, because hell money can pay off in the long run, potentially. So let's see. I was like, Patnick is brutal. The most brutal adversary to really rear its ugly head in the course of this game. Let's see. So I think, as far as the the resource, half of it goes. So it looks like you had enough sites. It looks like, because you didn't run into any issues when you weren't having. What was your percentage? For me, it was 21% of this deck was sites.
Yeah, 20 cards in a 70 card deck.
Oh yeah, sure.
Don't know what that works out to, but it was plenty.
Over 25, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah.
25%. Yeah, over 25%. So yes, for basic deck building tip, everyone. So you're building your deck. Make sure that at least 20% of that deck is site cards. And that's even in the manual right there. In a 60 card deck, you want 15 sites. You want to make sure that you have sites first and foremost in your hand when it comes time for you to investigate. When you don't have those, that's probably worse than whatever your opponent can throw at you. Not having a site, that's that's the end of the turn right there for you. That's worse than a UTL.
Yeah. 29% rounding up. So,
very good. Yeah.
Which is probably that. I mean, if I were building the deck, that's actually a lot more than I would use. I try to typically just over 20%. But again, like for people who are just like learning, it sucks when you don't have a site, like you said. So you just want to make sure you got something to play on every turn.
Yeah, somewhere between like 20 to 25% is your sweet spot when building. So easiest strategy, pick your agents, then get all your sites, and then build the rest of your deck, and then just count up your total cards and just make sure however many cards you have in your deck, just at least crunch the numbers, make sure you got at least 20-25% sites, so then you're not coming up with nothing during each turn. So yeah, so great tips, and check out the sample decks on the channel because they're all constructed with the same thought process in mind. So if you're new to the game, like I said, there's some basic sample decks there as well you can check out. It's a very different game when you're playing basic, and you don't have to look at adversary effects, and you don't have to look at agent game effects and stuff like that, and you don't have to look at the 20 RP maximum for your team's construction, things like that. It's really a different game. It's so crazy. It's like so Patnick is you would agree in advanced gameplay, Nathan, Patnick is the most powerful adversary, yes?
In
advanced gameplay.
He's up there. I don't know if he's the top one, but he's up there.
So
like if you're basing it off like a cost, like a cost to effect ratio, he's probably the best one.
To the hospital, yeah. Usually when Patnick's played, you're often getting 2 agents, if not more. Sometimes it can be a total wipeout, depending on how your team's constructed. My team would have gotten destroyed by Patnick because Scully's the only one who has more than Scully's the only one with some decent combat. Everyone else has 1, so that would have been zeroed out by Patnick, and he would have mopped the floor with my whole team.
Yeah,
if he had come
up.
You
get some of those medical or computer or sciences teams. They're pretty light on combat, or lone gunman in the newest expansion. Yep. And yeah, you could really. I mean, those teams are in trouble if a Patnick comes through and that you can't stop them.
So my question is what adversary do you think is the most powerful in basic?
So basic, you're just using the stat block, right? The long range
keywords, the keywords and the activators. That's all you're paying attention to.
Boy, I play so little basic. Give me 1 sec. Because like my are we taking into effect cost too? Because like my
cost is not a factor. You're just looking at keywords and activators only, which is weird. It's like, so how do you determine what's more powerful?
Yeah.
Hint, it's the activators.
But I need to it's the activators. So you're saying the ones that can target any agent?
or yeah,
exactly.
exactly. Or too shy.
No,
but
he's still got
take a look at the list.
Restrictive activator.
Look at the activator for the list.
Yeah, that's why I love the list. It's just now the problem with the list is you're not actually stopping an investigation. You're stopping a possible future investigation, right?
Right, but in basic though, you're not paying attention to the effect. In basic, you just play the list and an agent goes to the hospital with 2 tokens of damage on it.
Oh, I see what you see. Yeah.
So no matter what, like the list can be played at any site, and so therefore an agent's going to go to the hospital. And but you can also say with the agent activator applies too. So that would also mean John Barnett links you to Mulder is an equally powerful one, because as long as there's an agent, that one can be played. So John Barnett links you to Mulder and the list are the most powerful adversaries in basic, because they can be played on anything, regardless of whatever site is out there. So yeah, it's very interesting. It's like, and those aren't ones like the list. Yeah, is kind of cool. It's kind of a niche card. We never see John Barnett come up because it's too freaking expensive to play in basic or in advanced. But in basic, it's free. So, and it can be played on any agent you want. So it's therefore it's a powerful adversary. So yeah, it's very different mindset. Leonard? What's that?
Could you do
Leonard too?
Leonard too. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Leonard too is it site or agent? It's one of the two.
It's site, yeah.
Yeah, Leonard. That's another one. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's like, yeah, in basic you play one of those and it's like if they can't be negated, that's it.
Well, I found this whole idea of building sample decks pretty cool. I think I'm going to take a stab at a couple more.
Excellent. That means because I'm planning to make so many videos, so I could always use some more sample decks. But yeah, I was gonna say for our next game, Nathan, whenever you want to throw down again, I think we should do an X-Files Powers game.
I like it. How about two more?
You can do a sample deck based on that. Sample deck power.
I think what I'll do for this next one is not give you my deck ahead of time.
Smart.
so and then because I'm sure I'm sure you weren't actively like building around my deck, but that also probably entered your mind as you were picking cards sometimes.
Maybe I was trying not to, because because this deck is going to be a video that people use, and it's like it's not going to function right if I'm like narrowed in on one particular deck. So I included like all the witness negating at like the 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 was in there. Obviously you don't have a single occult adversary in that deck, but I was kind of covering the bases like I normally would. I knew what you had, but I wasn't like looking hard, like long and hard at it as I was building this for this particular game. I just wanted a deck that would generally cover the bases, because when people watch the video and then they'll build their decks based on that. That was the thought process. And so you watch this video when it goes up either late tonight or early tomorrow, you'll see that, I mean, it's on par with a lot of the other sample decks I've done in terms of the common staple cards are all represented there. What I normally do when I have manners on a team and I run the gamut with the witnesses that I need. And especially in this case, because it's a weak team with it's a team with a lot of weaknesses in terms of combat and not being able to address some of those forced skill checks. So so manners, actually, you know what I just realized, Nathan? I did not use a single manners token tonight.
Well, I was sure that your answer for the subterfuge one, because hosting had 2 subterfuge.
Yes.
So authorized access only. I was sure you had a 2 subterfuge witness in there.
You know what? I did not, because the only witness that gives 2 subterfuge is Bill Mulder, and so I didn't include him because Bill Mulder's other effect is specific to Mulder, so I didn't include him for that. He should have been in my deck, really. He should have been, yeah. I did include the 2-lux video camera in there because, again, that's the answer to the other 2 subterfuge. Actually, authorized access, you straight up, you would have got me on the subterfuge part of it, because unless I had the 2-lux equipped. I might have even probably should have thrown a lockpick in there too for 2 subterfuge. So
No,
yeah,
but otherwise, yeah, you didn't. There was no manners usage tonight. You didn't need it. You were fine.
yeah, the team held up pretty well without manners, which is something. But it's also thanks to street contacts, which always include 2 street contacts. If you're doing it, if you have a deck that's heavy on the witnesses like mine are, 2 street contacts, because those manners tokens, they run out fast.
You bet.
All right,
my friend, I think I'm gonna call it a night.
all right, and
Good
so
conversation, good game. Congrats on the win.
all right, and then keep me posted on that powers rules, because yeah, I think people would like to see another powers rules game. I think that'll be fun. You build your
sure.
X-File, or I'm sorry, you build your deck based on the X-File that you chose. So that's an interesting one where the X-File is the first thing you pick out.
Yeah.
When you're doing a power rules game, it's a very different mindset when you're building a power rules deck. At least the conspiracy portion of it, that is.
Right.
The rest of it's still the same, but still different thought process there. So yeah, you're going to be consulting the back of that manual, like pages
Right.
45, 46, 47. Okay, so I want this card because of that, this card because of that power and stuff like that. So even more fun to build. And with that, I think we'll call it a night. So great game, Nathan, and thank you everyone for tuning in.
Yeah, and hopefully you got some good tips from our discussion afterwards, and we'll keep the sample decks flowing.
Excellent. Well said. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already done so, and have a good one.